So I want to give you a really powerful piece of communication advice that's going to improve your leadership capacity in every arena of your life, both on the basketball court with your team, or frankly, in your family, in your friend group, in your close relationships of any kind. This will help so much, and it's so simple, okay? The way that I'll say it to you is, don't state negatives, suggest positives. What most of us do when we see a behavior in somebody that we don't particularly like or we want to try to change, we tell them what is wrong with what they're doing. That's not helpful, okay? If, for example, well, a really funny story is coming to mind. I'll share it with you. It's maybe mildly inappropriate, but I think it's okay. So, I can't believe this happened. A friend of mine who I met on a retreat, actually, was telling me this story about a girl that he'd been seeing for about 3 weeks. And this girl, for, I can't even believe he said this. Basically, he had a problem with her weight. And again, this is where it gets to be a little bit sensitive, but he told her that she was getting fat and that she should work out. They've been seeing each other for 3 weeks, and he's saying hey, I want her to take care of herself. I want her to be healthy and fit and whatever. So he tells her, you're getting fat. I want you to work out. Why are you being so lazy? That's called stating a negative. And what I said to him is that approach has worked exactly 0 times for any man in the history of relationships. I'm pretty sure. I mean, that's a big statement, but I'm fairly certain in saying that has never worked. So what do you think happened? She got really upset and they broke up almost immediately, right? He not only didn't accomplish his goal of trying to get her to be healthy and to work out and to take care of herself, but he also ruined the relationship and probably left her further behind. I bet you she was less likely to even work out because the thought of working out became associated with the things that he had said to her, which were frankly just mean, okay? So this is an extreme example of this, but don't state negatives, suggest positives. So what could he have done? He could have said, hey, I'm going to the gym. Do you want to come with me? We can work out together. And afterwards, he could say to her, oh man, that felt so good. I loved working out with you. That's so much fun. Can we do this tomorrow? Rather than stating negatives, he could suggest positive things. And how much more effective would that be? How much closer to the goal do you think he would have become? And we all do this in every area of our lives. And I'll actually make a deeper point in a moment that may surprise you. But let's look at, for example, if a friend, or let's say a younger brother, is just being lazy and he's watching too much TV, he's playing too many video games, he's not really taking care of himself and doing the right things. And you went to him and said, why are you being so lazy? Oh, you're watching TV again? You're playing this video game again? How many hours have you been on this for? How do you think that's going to make him feel? And what do you think his immediate reaction is going to be to that? Well, for most people, in my experience, they're immediately going to resist whatever you're saying. They're going to be like, screw you. I'm going to keep on playing. I don't care what you say, right? Of course, because who are you to tell me what to do with my life? And none of us can make the assumption that we actually know what's best for the other person, right? First of all, let's make that really clear. That's assuming too much authority and too much self-importance. We don't know what's actually in the best interest of the other person, but we can suggest what we're seeing. So instead of saying to your younger brother, hey, you're being lazy, what are you doing? Stop doing this. You could say, hey, do you want to go outside? Do you want to go for a walk? Do you want to, let's go to the store and make this meal. I tried this out and I really love it. Maybe it's a healthy meal that you make together, whatever. Suggest a positive. Stop suggesting or stop stating negatives, what's wrong with the person, and suggest something positive. That's way more productive. And there's no reason to actually, someone in the Deep Game community, actually, who works for Deep Game, sent me a message the other day and said, is there ever a point, and I've been sharing these teachings with him for a long, long time, many years, and he said, is there ever a situation where it might be beneficial to tell the person their ideas are wrong or stupid? Is there ever a situation? And I challenged him. I said, can you think of one? Seriously, can you think of one where that would actually produce the result that you want? He couldn't come up with any. I couldn't come up with any. Maybe you can hit reply and tell me where stating how stupid somebody's idea is better than suggesting something positive, rather than, oh no, that's dumb, don't do that. Say, oh well, maybe there's another way you could do that, and then suggest it, right? Completely different feeling, and frankly, way more effective. So that deeper layer of this is where this gets really fascinating, and I think you should really contemplate this deeply. Take this advice with yourself. What so many of us do is constantly guilt ourselves over the things that we don't like that we're doing. If we have missed a workout or missed several workouts, or we find ourselves being lazy, or we just don't like the way that we're acting in a particular situation, or even frankly, let's say, for example, what's coming to mind is you're in a social situation and you don't like how shy you're being, right? That's a largely unconscious reaction due to emotional holding patterns and potentially even trauma and things of this nature. But if you find yourself in a social situation and you're being a little bit shy and closed off and you don't like that, the absolute worst thing you can do is tell yourself, stop being so shy, stop being so closed off, because that's going to close you off even more, right? And this is what we're doing with other people, but we're also doing it with ourselves all the time. We're stating the negatives about the actions that we don't like about ourselves, or the things that we don't like that we're doing, rather than noticing, oh, that's a behavior I want to change. Maybe more productive would be to suggest a better behavior. Go figure, right? It's so simple, and yet we fall into this trap of, frankly, just taking the lazy way out in communication. It's way lazier just to say, stop doing that, that's bad. To ourselves or to others. That's a lazy approach. Take it one step further in your mind and say, how can I actually achieve the goal? The point is not to enforce your point on the other person or onto yourself. The point is to achieve a result, to actually help the person. So suggest something that's actually helpful, and do this also with yourself. So I really hope this helped. That's a paradigm shift for so many players and human beings, actually. And if you practice this, you will see your relationships transform. I promise you. You will get way better results with all of your communication, and you will find yourself, I think, being put into leadership positions, because this is one of the best skills that you can develop as a leader, is your communication. So I hope this helped you out. Let us know, as always, if you have any questions with it. Please practice this. I think it's going to pay off in huge ways for you. And I will see you next time. Take care. Hey, it's Taylor. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And if you did, the best thing to do right now, while it's fresh in your mind, is to head over to deepgame.com and join us in our free masterclass. Now, this is where you'll learn all 8 laws of the deep game and all of the fundamentals that you need to know about the part of basketball that's played with the mind. We've had players call this the best hour of basketball learning of their lives, and it's completely free right now. So head over to deepgame.com to join us, and I will see you there.